In a recent middle school we worked with, I was greeted on the first day by a student, arms crossed, scowling, like he was angry at the world. How does someone go from being closed off and guarded to lighting up with joy, laughter, and connection? As the founder of Pickleball Positive Communities, I've seen that shift happen on a pickleball court. And I know that shift personally because of the incredible relationships I've built through the game. I grew up in Chinatown in a poor single-parent household. Racket sports weren't a part of our world. I never saw myself as an athlete. But I learned perseverance by watching my mother work late nights and weekends to hold our family together. I learned to step up early, taking care of myself so I wouldn't add to her burdens. And I learned to choose courage over comfort, stepping beyond Chinatown and into new worlds. What I didn't expect decades later was to see those same instincts show up on a pickleball court. By then, I had built a career far beyond where I had started, leading global teams as a senior executive, advising Fortune 500 companies, and helping people propel themselves and others to success. I even wrote books on that very idea with my mother and later with my children. But it was on a pickleball court that those life lessons finally came together. Because on the court, communication is immediate. Me, you, collaboration is visible, backing each other up when a shot is missed. And with every game I played, my sense of belonging grew. And then something unexpected happened. My already strong personal and professional networks expanded across industries, identities, cultures, and backgrounds. And I realized the pickleball court isn't just a place to play. It's a place to build bridges. And millions are discovering the same thing. Approximately 36.5 million Americans have played pickleball, 1 in 10 nationwide. Participation in the sport has grown over 300% in 3 years, and the sport is now played in over 60 countries. Why? Because it's accessible, welcomes beginners, builds confidence, and brings people together. It strengthens not just bodies, but communities. That belief is what inspired me to design a model bringing together pickleball with social-emotional learning, the Pickleball Positive Approach. And it is now being integrated into school curriculum. And we've seen its impact. One PE teacher said, "This is a sport our kids really need. Everyone can get involved and be successful. You don't have to be that top athlete." We've seen students go from hesitant to confident, become more mindful of their behaviors, and strengthen peer relationships. That student who greeted me with a scowl on day 1, 6 sessions later, he was joyful, animated, giving me the thumbs up, telling me how much he loved our program. That's what belonging can spark. And in the South Bronx, I saw those bridges forming in real time. 2 students came up to me and asked, "Betty, where are you from?" The part of me trained to hear that as a microaggression paused. But when I looked at their faces, I saw something else entirely: curiosity. "I'm from Chinatown," I said. "I'm Chinese American." Their eyes widened. "That's so cool." And in that moment, I realized that I may have been the first Asian adult they had formed a meaningful connection with. Someone who showed up, encouraged them, believed in them. On the court, we weren't stereotypes. We were humans connecting. And that's what gives me hope. Because what starts on a single court doesn't have to stay there. We're now using the same model for youth exchange programs, bringing together youth from different communities and even countries that might otherwise see each other as oppositional. Because when they step onto a court, they're no longer defined by where they come from, but how they play, communicate, and connect. That's how understanding begins. On the court, there's shared experience. And the bridging doesn't stop with youth. A friend of mine recently told me he's brought 2 sets of in-laws together over a pickleball game. Much better than an awkward dinner. And I've seen employees step onto courts as strangers and walk off as collaborators. Team culture shifts, hierarchies soften, communications sharpen. Conversations that may never happen in a conference room start to happen naturally between games. Research shows that workplace physical activity programs are linked to stronger collaboration, higher job satisfaction, and improved morale. When people move together, something shifts. They connect differently, and connection changes performance. So, if pickleball could reinforce behaviors for success for someone like me, decades into life, imagine what it can unlock for a child who hasn't yet had access. Imagine what it can spark in communities that have been told they are divided. Imagine what it can do to supercharge organizational performance. Because the pickleball court isn't just a place to play. It's a place to build bridges. And in a divided world, conversation isn't enough. Connection is what changes us. So, step onto a court, pick up a paddle, and start building bridges. Thank you.